r/AskReddit what is socially acceptable to do online, but not in real life. Following people is a surprisingly creepy concept for how much it is used online. If they ever find out that you followed them, then you did it wrong. The difference is you give them permission. It's like acting in a play of people are staring at you. It's fine because you ask them to. If you do that in a regular setting, they get uncomfortable. I was actually surprised how acceptable it seemed to be to online stalk someone. Like my recent years in college, and at the end of one semester me and some classmates learned we were getting a new classmate into our step in the program. Like some folks were casually chatting, like, oh, I wonder what she'll be like, does anyone know her, etc. And like someone was like, oh, I think I just found her Instagram, and they all crowded around to look. I dunno. I just found it a bit weird. 90% of YouTube comments. Anyone else reading this in 2020? It's been years since I've read through YouTube comments. They are a surefire way to lose brain cells, because everyone leaving them are either small children or people that don't understand the language they are typing in. Many of which are the same thing repeated over and over and over. Talk to someone without your pants on. You never had a sleepover with the boys where you talked about the meaning of life in your underwear? Wait, that's bad? Wait 3 hours to respond when you already heard what they said. Yeah, right, no, I hate that. Or more or less randomly the day after, oh sorry, I didn't see your message until now. Unfortunately, it's becoming socially accepted to literally just ignore when a person says something to you like you can online. Or wait approximately this long to respond. I mean, why would anyone do that? You know what you're gonna say, just run with it. Stare dead ahead for minutes on end while trying to think of a good comeback. If you do this in real life, people will just assume you're on the spectrum. Don't ask me how I know. I actually found the German phrase for that just this morning. Goes sure, stares like a goat. I really want/need to learn more German now. There is so much I'm missing. Everyone does this, except it's in the shower the following day. Give yourself a random nickname and expect people to refer to you as such. Just to clarify, I'm referring to the more inappropriate ones that are almost guaranteed to be censored, not stuff like puppy lover or one_punch_fan. Also, putting numbers in your name, because Christ, that's a lot of numbers, bro. Edit just so we're clear, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not being a dick because of Op's username. Just wanted to clarify that. Thank you for your blood donation today, sir. We'll need to take down your name. It's a legal requirement, of course. It's XPOO55Y69S14 year XX, alright. And how do you spell that? Here, let me just write it out for you, so you have it in the system. Great. And is it alright if I call you Slayer? No, I prefer the full alphanumeric name. Friends and family are allowed to drop the numbers. It actually is kinda acceptable if you're polite about it. When I switched schools, I decided to introduce myself with a nickname, even though nobody had ever called me that, and everyone accepted it and called me by the new name. This is actually popular to do in fighting game culture. We go to in-person tournaments almost exclusively and refer to each other by self-created tags. I mean, there's no particular reason why you can't do this in real life if you've just moved to a new area. If you introduce yourself by a nickname, people will just call you that. I worked with one of my best friends since high school, and we'd game every night after work. One day at work, I called his name 5 or 6 times and he never responded. Then I called him by his Sparksliv tag, and he responded immediately. All my friends still refer to me by a nickname I had in a game years ago, and it pisses me off. I started out clear back in 1998 as Angel. Met tons of people offline who never use my real name, now that we know each other. They say it fits me better. Even my boyfriend calls me Angel. Yeah. Online I'm Waffle, but that would be super weird IRL to have people call me Waffle. Eye roll. I picked out a new name for myself and everyone uses that instead of my legal name. How is that different? People just call me noob. I have no issue with this. That's how biker gangs work. Really? Little kid lover. Watch strangers have sex. I better get out my neighbor's bedroom cause this is news to me. Says you. The Normandy is basically one big sex party at this point. Or people you know. OnlyFans is a fucking trip, man. Teabag defeated foes. Imagine a Frenchman doing that in some trench in WW1 and getting us fucked by a pickle horde. Oh. Better cancel that chess game with Grandad. Wait till WW3. I remember play a game if COD 4 and one person was talking trash. He was like 7 or 8 I think. Of course he managed to kill me while I was on a kill streak point, so I respawn AMD put the airstrike on the location where I died. Turns out he tried to teabag my character and died without being able to. He got so mad that he threw his controlled and they heard him crying about breaking his TV. When shopping, put loads of items in my basket then just leave them there if I change my mind. This happens in real life fairly often. As a retail worker, F the people who do this. Companies still bug you though if they know your email address. We see you have stuff left in your cart. Come back. Upvote or downvote every comment you hear. I upvote you sir, and I just said I could go for some ice cream right now Jimmy, and now I downvote you. Okay Jimmy, okay. Scream obscenities at children. Have children scream obscenities at you. Won't stop me from doing it. Well, there was this one video on Twitter where this dad was angry at his daughters and said something like I will F asterisk asterisk K oil up. I laughed at first but then I realized it's not funny. You should tell my neighbors this. Reduce people's entire identity down to one thing they've said. If only people didn't actually do this eye roll. Talk about masturbation nonchalantly with strangers. Masturbate nonchalantly while talking to strangers. True, I fapped to this. I was just seeking feedback on technique. No reason to interrupt your whole sermon. My friends and I, all guys, talk about masturbation nonchalantly face to face. Those are some of the best conversations to have. Chatting using GIFs. If I started showing someone a random picture in response to a real life conversation, it would just go downhill from there. I used to spend hours in the same room as my ex sending GIFs back and forth, and then we'd laugh. Follow people you don't know. Follow people, period. Saying lol feo in real life or any other like terms. I hated hearing people say lol out loud. And then I started saying it out loud ironically. And then I caught myself saying it unironically. The level of self-loathing went to an all-time high in that moment. I used to say LMAO ironically until it became part of my standard language. I hope I'm not alone in this, but saying hashtag aloud, even ironically, is infinitely cringy. Hashtag blessed. I say LMAO, pronounced LMAU not LMAO, out of pure irony. I say lol sometimes. This hits close to home right here. I know several people who say lol in real life, and one who says LMAO. They are all rather sane. This is how words are born, I suppose. Poke people. Facebook. It's been years since my last poke. Like people's comments. And give them meaningless trophies for those comments. Give out random awards. Smart. Using haha and lol in the same sentence. Haha, I never do that, but I know some people who do, and they look really dumb lol. Talk to anyone other than my cats and partner. Reply to any conversation you can. If someone says something funny, giggle to yourself, and give them gold without saying a word. Leave. Argue with strangers about crap that doesn't matter. Constantly correct people on technicalities. Do that eye roll, and you'll quickly end up with no friends. Technically, if you make it seem like a joke instead of a correction, you might still end up with no friends. I have friends. Swipe left or basically refuse to talk to someone BC you don't find them attractive. I mean, that's kind of what happens to me in everyday life. I can say whatever I want. Oh wait, I live in Russia. Lying about your gender. I just filled out some new documents for job, and while creating a Google business account for the work phone there was a custom option for gender that let you enter whatever you wanted, apparently properly identifying is important point. Oddly enough, the choices for what you wanted to be called were more limiting. Mr., Mrs., other, with no custom entry. Say the N-word. Nipples. Depends on what organizations you're in. /s/l. Do people still do this? Age, sex, location? Calling Hitler daddy as a joke. Push your opinion on other people. God, I wish this was only online. That's not accepted online either. People find it just as annoying. Agree with Russian propaganda. Speaking in movie/TV quotes. Saying cuss crap. Stalking. Being a douche. Calling someone the N-word. Not really acceptable either way, but a 13-year COD player would think otherwise. Sometimes I try to tell dark jokes or sad jokes and people just look at me like I'm crazy. Shop naked. Shooting people in the face. Disagree with someone's opinion. Say ow in real life. Point in fact, don't do that online either. Stalking people, everyone should agree with that. Just being generally offensive. Be a troll. Get really hurt by a complete stranger when they are talking to someone else and go on a really long rant and say you're an asshole in all seriousness. Mocking dead people. Asking someone their ASL. Personal role playing. Trolling. Whack ass nicknames and expecting people to call you by specified nickname. Showing parts of your genitalia to people you barely know. Being a keyboard warrior. People say stuff to people online that they wouldn't say to that person's face. It's lame, but everyone does it. Shitpost. Oversharing. All those edgy ass teens who say the N-word because they think it's funny. Seriously, if they say that crap viral they'd get their crap rushed. Tell people your real opinion about issues. Some very bluntly. Talk with the people when them sit on the toilet. Leave a social scenario to jerk off and then come back like nothing happened. Some people you talk to are kids, so walking up to stranger kids and start talking to them, well, that only applies to males. Call somebody a dumb fucker who will never reach anything in his life. Point. This post was made by the League of Legends community. One word, step siblings. Rate literally anything with random strangers you got to know 5 minutes earlier. Not answer when someone asks you something. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more. See you next time.